Not bad, right?
Wow, delicious.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So, Erica, welcome
Thank
to
you.
our podcast. We appreciate you taking some time for us.
Yeah.
For those tuning in for today's episode, I have with me Erica Sanchez with Thrive Consulting Group, correct? And you are the current president and CEO of that company.
Yes, sir. Thank
Tell
you.
me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Business Consulting Thrive is a consulting firm that we basically help small business owners grow into the next level. We offer franchise development. We also sell for the franchisors. I also help with startups, small business companies. I deal with a lot of beauticians, lash artists who want to open up their own location, massage therapists, you name it. And I help them with the process development, the business plan, and pretty much anything that involves business. And I work with legal team, I work with CPA, all of that just to make the dream happen for them. So something that I've been doing for many years before at corporate level, but then I ended up making the shift about a year ago to just make my own firm instead of working for a corporate company.
So you just launched less than 12 months ago.
Yeah.
12 months ago was kind of a rough time for the country, a pandemic.
Oh my goodness.
How was that?
So, funny story, Austin, you don't even know the story about me, is that I was working, I was always involved in sales. I was always working for sales companies, and any work that I worked before, it was always involved in sales. When it comes to sales, you have to work on holidays. You do not get holidays off. So I got burned out. I did not enjoy Thanksgiving with my family. I was traveling, helping other owners open up their own location. I was always on the phone call. So I pulled the plug on November of 2019. It was a couple of months before the pandemic happened. And before that, I had got my MBA, and I was working on a business plan on my MBA of building my own firm. It's interesting how this happened. I was building my business plan and I had it ready. So when I graduated, I said, okay, 6 months, I'm gonna build my own firm. But then I quit my job, and then 4 months after, the pandemic happened, and then we went and shut down. So it was rough, but I did not allow that to happen to affect me in any way.
Good.
I hustled, I networked, I joined Zoom calls, I met other nonprofits.
You hustled.
I hustled.
Yeah.
Fully. I did not have an income. I took my 401k money out. I sold my tequila business in Mexico to my parents that I had. I sold my cows that I had in Mexico. I took anything that I could. I literally was broke, and whatever I had, I bought into a franchise, and I also got my office. I invested what I had, not knowing what was going to happen.
You went all in.
Yes.
You sacrificed it all.
I did.
Your 401k.
Yes.
You said you own a couple cows out in Mexico?
Yes, all the cows, I sold it to my parents. My parents own cows. And, and I said, Mom, Dad, if you guys want whatever I have, here you go, give me the money. And
let me start my business.
Yes.
So, sacrifices is what you did.
You have to.
Oh, yeah.
You have to. And I didn't have it easy. My parents never helped me. It was pretty much on me. And not having an income was very hard. So either I can stay home and quarantine, or do I look for clients other ways? And I did that. So what I did recently, right after that happened, I joined Rail, and I did consulting for them with my business.
Tell me about that group a little bit.
Yeah, Rail is a nonprofit that focuses on helping any business that were affected by the rail in Mesa and Tempe.
Okay.
So the rail that is there, and I got a couple of clients, did some work for them, consulting work related to my field, any areas that they need help, operations, systems, sales. So I focused a lot on them, helping that area. But then after that, I knew that franchise was going to be a big movement for me. So I invested money into buying my own franchise with Franchise Creator.
Okay.
So that's when I flew over to Miami, met Hossein, the CEO and founder, and purchased my license to open up my own firm here underneath Thrive Business Consulting, so that I can offer more value with Thrive Business Consulting. Not just startups, not just operations themselves, but now I can offer, franchise development itself. So,
and that's your specialty, is franchises and working with. Now, give me an idea on the demographic you work with. Is it small to medium business owners, or are we talking extreme high net worth that want to buy a couple Burger Kings?
It's pretty much we're not limited.
Okay.
But right now, since I'm barely brand new, this has happened recently. 2020 is just literally right in the corner. My clients right now are small business owners, but we are in the process of maybe, if there's owners who want to franchise in Africa or Italy, we can do that. There's master franchise.
Internationally.
We can do anything. Okay. So we're not limited. I can work with clients all over the world. So I know this is the next big thing for us, and I know I can feel it, that I can make a big impact in a community here in Arizona, but also in other parts if I can. So.
And how far does your franchise region expand? Are you in California or any of the bordering states?
Yeah, so there's about 4 franchisees like myself. There's one in California, one in Arizona, which is me, okay. Saudi Arabia, Boston, and Miami.
Okay.
So we have those
pretty
offices.
Widespread.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to buy more, hopefully, as we go and we grow. And but yeah.
So Erica, outside of the pandemic, you obviously have had success. That's why we have you on the show today. Tell me a little bit, what does your revenue look like? Are you in the green now?
Yes.
Have you made up for a lot of those assets you sold off? And I know how big of a sacrifice that is. We hear the stories all the time, and you just told us no income for a while.
No income.
So where are you at now?
And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't apply for unemployment. I couldn't apply for anything. It was very hard for me. And I had to pay mortgage, I had to pay my car. It was purely hustling. I don't know if I've never had to do this. Before I was working for corporate, I had a salary, I was making comfortable money.
Security.
Oh my goodness, I had everything, and I can leave home early and I still get the same paycheck every week. But that was, and it was scary because I had to go buy toilet paper. There was no toilet paper around at that time. So I broke even about 8 months after, and I broke even after I sold my first franchise deal myself. And then I did a little consulting. I looked at my P&L statements, and I'm like, okay, I broke even. I'm green, but I'm not making enough for me to survive, you know? But after that, the more I hustled, the more I worked, then I got more deals involved. And then it took the first client to close the deal. I literally went home and cried. But oh my goodness.
It's a proud moment for you.
Yeah.
You accomplished it, you risked it all, and sacrifice, I kind of like that word because you sacrificed a lot to get where you are. And I have to ask, what made you move away from that, security blanket of I'm with the corporation, I've got a salary, I've got benefits, but screw that, I want to start my own business and sacrifice it all. Walk me through your process.
It's so funny. I talked about the same thing with one of my mentors, and one thing that we agreed on is that I don't like being told what to do. I like to do my own schedule.
Me either. So we agree. So much easier controlling your own life.
And if you're going to put the hustle, if you're going to put the work, you're going to put the effort into something, why not be it yours? Yep. And funny story, after I think about 8 months, when I broke even, I was offered a position to go work for a company, to being a regional manager for a big company out there, and I had accepted the offer. 2 days that I was just in the environment of their company, I said no, I can't do it. Even though I broke even though I know I can do it, I was literally that close to just giving up. Because I wanted that money. I was paying my bills, and I had used up. I sold my other car. I had a couple of motorcycles. I was comfortable. I had 2 bikes, 2 motorcycles, and 2 cars, and sold all that. And I'm like, I don't know if I can keep this up.
Yeah.
But there is that one moment where you feel I'm going to give up, and I had that feeling, and I'm sure anyone who's an entrepreneur is going to have that feeling eventually in their style. But I had that, and I took a job offer, but it lasted me 2 days. And I said, no, if I'm going to put this kind of hours, I'd rather do it in my business. And I didn't take it.
So I can totally relate to that. I actually, this is so funny you're saying this, is I had a job too for 2 days at a sandwich shop, actually, here locally in Tempe, Arizona. And I was making sandwiches for 2 days. And on the second day, I said, I can't do this. I quit.
Oh my goodness.
And I'll tell you, it was like an assembly line of sourdough, wheat, and white. And I had just had it. But I know that frustration of being locked into a schedule, locked into a career.
Clocking in, clocking out.
Yeah, to break out of that though, like what do you tell yourself in those moments? And what advice do you have for other people who have that, either I want to give up or I want to break out of this daily routine?
This is my response. I never imagined me being the one saying this to someone, because I was the one hearing. I would go to conventions, I would go to, places, and I would hear other people tell us the exact same thing. Don't give up. Just motivate yourself. Read books. Educate yourself. For me, it was just having that will, the having your passion, your dream, just not giving up. You do have to go all in, and that means that you have to,
100%.
You just have to be ready. And I think the pandemic really kind of helped me too, because either way, I would have been laid off anyway. So I think for me, the message is just you really have to have the will to really do that and be ready for that, because it's not going to be easy. And I think I talked to you over the phone before I got here. You're going to meet people. You're going to be involved in situations that you only see in TV or in a movie. And you don't know to laugh or to get scared. You don't know what to do, because is this really happening? You're going to meet certain people along the way that are either going to benefit you or really hurt you. Or even threaten you, or they see the value that you have in your business, or they see that you are very smart and that you have something to offer, and they want to take that piece away from you. So there was a situation that, and I also wanted to give up, but I didn't let that scare me. People want to bully you, and sometimes they want to scare you away from a target that you're trying to go with, because you're a woman, you're strong, you have that passion to really help. Sometimes people fear that. Or competitors fear that, and just stay away from that. Just block them.
Be resilient.
Yes.
Because resilience, I think, is important too, especially in certain roles as a CEO. You kind of open yourself up to fire from all angles. It could be an employee, a subcontractor, a consultant you're working with.
Oh my goodness.
And sounds like your situation was like that.
I went through a lot. I even hired someone to come work as a consultant to work with me and give him clients, and he saw the money that was coming through. He saw the potential that I could make, and he got very greedy, and then things twisted, and you're gonna go through all of that. So cover your ass, do contracts, make sure you bring, you have to have a really good process in place. And not many people do. Small business owners don't have that, and that is why they always get into legal problems, because it's okay, just paper, it's a verbal. No. Any single time that you're dealing with money, big amount of money, or you're dealing with other experts, there has to be a contract.
A written agreement between the two of you.
Yes.
And
that would come back.
And I guess that's a systematic change with any company, especially young entrepreneurs growing right now. Obviously people may not have the resources to pay for legal help.
Right.
But I know there's other resources out there where you can get
yeah.
there. There's plenty of CEOs who would lend you some time. And you're talking about sacrificing. I feel like for you, one of the sacrifices is making sure you have enough money to pay for that legal work before going down that road.
Yeah.
And kind of setting that foundational expectations with your consultants, your subcontractors, your employees. And is that what you would recommend to everybody listening to you today, is have that from the beginning, or should they learn the hard way?
You have to go through the hard way for you to really, learn and to be able to appreciate what you have in a way. So I guess, in other words, if I can say, have money, prepare yourself, at least certain important things, everything else you can work with, but there are certain things that you do have to encounter. And I think it's a blessing that I've encountered those challenges, because it just made me even stronger.
Yep.
So even stronger, so I'm ready,
That's right, you're a fighter, I like it. Tell me more, you have a couple employees that work for you right now.
I do. I have I have a small team, it's only 3. It's a marketing girl and I have a operational guy, but with the franchise development side, it's a bigger team. So the franchise model that I have is I purchase a license to open up my own franchise firm in Arizona.
And what type of franchises? Is it all esthetician type work?
No, it's actually a franchise firm. So we're able to help owners. It's called franchise creators. So we are a franchise firm, but I'm a franchisee of a franchise firm.
That's a mouthful.
It is very interesting in the way it works. But we have a legal team. We have an entire setup process that can help any owner become a franchise. We help build a franchisor, and we help sell for them as well. So I love it because this is where I come from. I work with Elements Massage MB, Amazing Life Studios. I work in different roles with the company, and I was in and out on the operational side, development, and the sale of the franchise. And I got to open up. And I guess what I would say my best recognition was when I opened up Amazing Life Studios back in 2015, I broke even the first Amazing Life Studio in Arcadia. Within 8 months, I broke it even as well, not knowing anything about the beauty industry. But I knew business, and after that I opened up more locations and I opened up more, and I made our franchisee owner a lot of money. After that I went into the corporate side and I multiplied my skills all across to other owners, and that's why I knew that I was very good in developing. I was very good in building something from start into the end.
And letting it go.
Yeah.
And is that, tell me, because you mentioned you have your MBA.
I do.
So you have a few degrees.
Yeah.
Did that prepare you for the role you're in now, or would you say it was more hands-on experience that got you to where you are?
You know, it's a little bit of both. I do recommend going to school. I mean, if you have a great business model and you don't need to go to school and you can make millions out of your business, don't go to school. But for me, going to school at GCU, I learned about servant leadership. I learned about conscious capitalism. I learned about certain things that you do not learn in building a business. There's certain things that I learned from going to my MBA and being a Christian university, and I work with ethics, integrity, and those are things that either you can learn from other people, other colleagues, and surround yourself who you hang around with. And I think that I was in a very great group at my MBA program, and it was a great bond, and our professors were amazing, and I learned a lot. Business-wise, no. Business-wise, I learned through my experience.
Okay.
But I learned a lot of other things at going to my MBA school.
Conscious capitalism, love that phrase.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it before. Tell us a little bit about what that means and how it relates to what you're doing.
So I would say that we need to be able to control our emotions. We have to be able to learn to be out in the public and in the community and be able to serve others with a conscious mind of, how can I provide, but also like in return you're giving a satisfaction. That's how I describe it, is when I'm out in the field working with clients, I'm helping you grow. I'm helping you build your business. I'm helping you take it to the next level or optimize your business, right? But consciously, I know that I'm going home sleeping very well, that I made money too, because I'm also in business to make money. But I just made an impact to your business and to your personal wealth. So that for me is, and there's more to it, but for me that's how I relate to that, is how can I be a servant to you, but having the right state of mind of, I'm there for you in good terms. I'm not here to go behind your back or in any way unethical, an unethical way.
Their success is your success.
Absolutely.
You're in. One thing that I know about franchises, correct me if I'm wrong, is you're investing with the owner of that franchise. Yeah. You're giving them a brand, but you're also saying, I believe you can do this. Yeah. Let me help you get to that next level. And investing in your clients. Yeah. Maybe not financially, but time.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so once I talk to a client who is going to franchise their business, we are locked in for a while. Because after 90 days, we're going to get you up and running as a franchisor. You could be a small restaurant owner.
Can you say that again? 90 days
90
you get them up and running?
Yes, 90 days we get
them
up.
So 3 months.
3 months. Our team hustles very hard to get them into becoming a franchisor. Then after that, we get into selling. That's where my team comes in place and says, all right, let's start working on a plan to start, advertisement, your franchise business model now. Not just your location, now we're franchising, right? And any clients that we get, now I'm selling for businesses. I'm looking for franchise investors or entrepreneurs who want to get into their business model and lock those deals in and help them open those locations all across the U.S. where they want to go. So it is a long term, and I would like to see at least 5 to 10 locations open before I say, hey, now you can open. Now you can sell it for yourself. You don't need myself anymore.
Okay.
So I want to stay with them at least for at least 5 to 10 deals. Mm-hmm. After that, I'm like, okay, I'll train you how to sell. Or you can hire someone else, or keep hiring me. So.
And you're comfortable either way.
Yes.
That kind of fits your philosophy. You get them up, you get them running, you give them a strong foundation, and then carry on.
And we train them. We don't just do the service. We provide ongoing support. We're not just a legal team. We are the whole thing, the whole package that they need.
You're the back office thinking.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So that's how we run that. And so far, we franchise here locally about 3. and those 3 we're going to sell for them, and that could be 5, 10, 20 locations in the next couple of years. Who knows,
Wow.
right? And all across the company, we franchise over 600 business models all across the U.S.
This is all through Franchise Creator.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And anybody could do this.
Any business that has a good concept that can be multiplied, has a good business model that can be multiplied, has a good system in place, and has great reviews, absolutely.
So, in your words, what is a good business model?
Yeah. So I look for a business that the owner can step away, let the business run, and is still making money. It's a good brand that you can see in casinos. It's a good brand that you can see in the airport. It's a good brand that you see that many people. It's a hot topic, right? For example, we recently just franchised a owner, Veronica. She has azuquita. It's a frappuccino with like bread with ice cream. Who doesn't want sweets, right? Who doesn't want frappuccinos? So something like that is very simple to franchise, and it's a low cost for initial investment too. And then we have the bigger ones. So it's a restaurant, or it's maybe maybe a CBD oil company. Anything like that, we can franchise. There's also insurance companies. There's brokers. You name it. It's, as long as you have a good blueprint system, you can franchise it.
So let me ask you this, franchise-wise. Arizona just passed recreational marijuana for the state. Several other states in the country have done the same. Do you think there's going to be a rise in popularity of franchising out dispensaries across the state?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing if there's buyers, there's clients for that, there is money into that. Everyone has that field. Any owner has their niche of what they want. We can do that, absolutely.
And with companies like that, the cannabis industry, for example, I know there's larger corporations that are kind of becoming conglomerates, like Harvest, for instance. I know that's here locally as well. Do you see them encouraging capitalism, or do you see them taking over the market? I mean, do we have another Amazon on our hands, or kind of what do you think there?
It's a really good question, Austin. I don't know, but I don't know. It could be they could take over the market. It could be. We haven't worked with many CBD oil company, CBD manufacturing companies as much. We haven't.
Okay.
But I do see it being a rise in the next couple of years, especially in certain states.
So it's like the most popular franchise you deal with. Is that a restaurant? Is it?
Restaurants is the most that we get. Beauty, massage parlors, mainly restaurants.
Okay.
Desserts, frappuccinos, coffee.
Bakeries?
Bakeries,
Okay.
yeah. Anything like that. Yeah.
Perfect. So, where can people find out about you and your company and get in touch about franchises?
Yeah, so my website is, I have 2 websites, but the main website is thriveprofitengineer.com. My cell phone number is 602-500-7484. Mainly just go to my website. You can contact us. You can submit your email there and your phone number, and it's easy to find. You'll find also on Instagram is thrive_profit_ consulting. You'll find me there as well for Instagram.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So Erica, everybody that comes on the podcast asks them the same question at the end.
Oh.
What does freedom mean to you?
Oh my goodness. For me, freedom is having the luxury to wake up every morning and do whatever I want to do. I can go on my motorcycle and go for a spin to Sedona, be able to go home and go to a movie, travel. For me, is be able to do whatever. I can wake up and be a woman, but also be able to do what men tend to do, or what anyone tend to do. It feels good to wake up every day and just do whatever I want to do and not being told what I have to do. So that is, for me, it means a lot more than anything.
Well, Erica, thank you so much for joining us today. I can't thank you enough. Our listeners are going to get a lot out of this talk today about how to franchise, what types of companies to franchise, and to contact you at the Franchise Creator and Thrive Business Consulting. Yes. So cheers to Erica. Thank you so much. And to those of you tuning in, continue to watch our podcast every week for the next few weeks. I'm Austin Jack with America's Future. Thank you.